Hi, this is Todd Hamilton with Children's Hospital and Medical Center in Omaha, Nebraska. This 10-minute presentation will discuss how we've improved our MLM development and management process by utilizing a multi-purpose utility we developed. The utility we developed is called the Gamma MLM Utility, or GMU. This presentation will cover a series of challenges we faced and the solutions we developed, as well as a demonstration of the GMU. There are 7 different functions I'll demonstrate in this presentation. The functions include enhanced MLM exporting, MLM phrase search, MLM version information, auto-format MLM code, auto-generate MLM code, find orphan MLMs, and MLM information book. During one of our upgrade projects, we found it necessary to export our MLMs from the SCM database to individual directories while following a specified naming convention. Our solution was to develop functionality that gathers the most recent version of all active MLMs from the SCM database and export the MLMs to a .mlm file within the corresponding directory. We use the directory structure to help manage local copies of the code through our revision control process, as well as assist in comparing changes from previous versions of the code. Here's a quick demonstration of how the GMU can export to named directories. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 3 parameters. The first parameter is the task I want the utility to perform. The second parameter specifies if the GMU will auto-format the MLM. The final parameter specifies if the GMU will in fact export to specified directories, as opposed to exporting all MLMs to a single directory. All other required parameters are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will search the database for all active MLMs, create individual directories, and write individual MLM files. The MLMs we develop often reference a medication or procedure name within the code. From time to time, the name of the medication or procedure needs to be modified. That has prompted a need to quickly and easily search all MLM code for certain phrases. Our solution was to develop functionality that takes the specified search phrase, search every MLM in the database, and provide a list of MLMs that contain the phrase. By using the GMU to quickly and easily search the database for MLMs that contain specified phrases, we can be sure that we know how changes to SCM configuration might affect certain MLMs. Here's a quick demonstration of how the GMU can search the SCM database for phrases within the MLM code. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 2 parameters. The first parameter is the task I want the utility to perform. The second parameter specifies the search phrase to look for. All other required parameters are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will search the database for all active MLMs and list MLMs that have the search phrase in the MLM code. We discovered a need to have a concise list of installed MLMs that include data elements such as last modified date or the user making the modification. Our solution was to develop functionality that gathers the required information from the SCM database and generate a tab-delimited file. Here's a quick demonstration of how the GMU can generate a version information file. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 2 parameters. The first parameter is the task I want the utility to perform. The second parameter specifies the name of the output file. All other required parameters are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will search the database for all active MLMs and generate a tab-delimited file. When we inspect the file, we can see several columns: the ODBC DSN used to access the database, the name of the MLM, the version ID, the last modification date, who modified the MLM, and a digest of the MLM code. We made a commitment to adhere to MLM coding standards we developed called the Gamma MLM Style Guide. Our challenge is that migrating from non-standard code to the Gamma standard is a time-consuming and tedious task. Our solution was to develop functionality that automatically formats existing MLM code to more closely conform to the Gamma MLM Style Guide. This utility helps the process of migrating non-standard formatted code to the standard Gamma style. Here's a quick demonstration of how the GMU can auto-format existing MLM code. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 4 parameters. The first parameter is the task I want the utility to perform. The second parameter is the desired tidy level of the output file. The third parameter is the name of the input file, and the final parameter is the desired name of the new tidy output file. All other required parameters are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will read the old non-standard formatted code, reformat the code, and write a new formatted output file to the designated directory. When comparing the files, we can observe some notable differences between the two. Keeping in mind the overall goal is to produce formatted code that conforms to the standard Gamma MLM style guide, we can see changes such as revision control keywords, uppercase rules for ARDN categories, title case rules for ARDN slots, and alignment rules. We find great benefit in developing form-called MLMs. Form-called MLMs help our users perform efficient and accurate data entry. Our challenge is that developing form-called MLMs is time-consuming and error-prone in light of the common elements of every form MLM. Our solution was to develop functionality that automatically generates form-called MLMs by gathering details of the form from the SCM database and instantly generate base MLM code using our predetermined template. Here's a demonstration of how the GMU can auto-generate a form-called MLM. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 3 parameters. The first parameter is the task I want the utility to perform. The second parameter is the name of the form used to build the auto-generated code. The final parameter is the name of the output file. All other required parameters, such as database name and authentication credentials, are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will begin to query the SCM database and write the generated MLM file to the designated output directory. There are a couple of notable attributes of the generated code. One is that the code is formatted and styled using the Gamma MLM Style Guide directives. By following a designated style guide, the code is easier to read and maintain. The other notable attribute is the comment included in each form field section. As you can see, the comments are actual field labels. This allows the MLM developer to easily locate the fields specified in the project specification. There are occasions where we've needed to identify MLMs installed in our database, but not actively deployed to production in order to determine if the MLM was inappropriately inactivated. Our solution was to develop functionality that provides a list of MLMs in the SCM database that do not have an active version. This feature would allow us to identify MLMs that may be inappropriately deactivated. Here's a quick demonstration of how the GMU can locate orphan MLMs. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 2 parameters. The first parameter is the task I want the utility to perform. The second parameter is the name of the output file containing potential orphan MLMs. All other required parameters are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will search the database for MLMs not in an active state and generate a file containing the list. We can then inspect the list and work with our team to determine if the MLM was inappropriately deactivated. From time to time, application analysts and IT management requires detailed information on certain MLMs. For instance, one team member might need to know if an MLM referenced a certain medication or procedure. Another example might be the need to know what forms a certain MLM is attached to. Our solution was to develop a utility that gathers detailed information on all MLMs in our database and generate a comprehensive document that can be distributed to several team members. Here's a quick demonstration of how the GMU can generate an MLM information book. In this example, I'll pass the GMU 1 parameter. The only parameter I pass is the task I want the utility to perform. All other required parameters are accessed through a configuration file. Once I launch the application, the GMU will search the database for all active MLMs and generate a comprehensive information document. This process takes quite a long time, so in this screencast I'm going to fast forward. In this example, the overall process took about 15 minutes. Also, for the sake of this screencast, I'm going to convert the generated file from its original format to a PDF. That will allow me to display the content a little easier. Let's inspect the generated document. The MLM information in our database produces a 2,700-page document. The document contains PDF bookmarks and hyperlinks for easy navigation. We have 4 major bookmarks in our document: List of MLMs, List of Significant Forms, MLM Detail, and Form Detail. The List of MLMs section contains a list of all MLMs in our database. The list is hyperlinked, so when I click on the MLM name, the reader navigates to the specified MLM detail section. The List of Significant Forms section presents a list of forms that are in some way connected to a particular MLM. For example, when a form calls an MLM on form close or open, or when a form field calls an MLM on field change. The list is hyperlinked, so when I click on a form name, the reader navigates to the specific form detail section. The MLM detail section provides detailed information about the MLM. The specific MLM detail can be accessed by the bookmark section or through the list of MLM section. When I inspect the specific MLM detail, we can see a lot of helpful information. The general information table contains information such as if the MLM is active or not, the deployment status, who created and modified the MLM, and other information. The list of MLM's form and fields table provides helpful information about how this particular MLM might be connected to certain forms. We can see that this particular MLM is called by a couple of forms and multiple fields. The form COMBLDCXED calls this MLM on form open and close. We can also see that 3 fields call this MLM on field change. The final section in the MLM detail area is the MLM code itself. The form detail section provides information regarding how the specific form is related to certain MLMs. We can see that this specific form is related to 2 different MLMs. The Gamma MLM Utility has helped our site improve management and administration of our MLMs. And we've realized several overall benefits of incorporating the GMU in our MLM development efforts. Using the GMU, our site has reduced overall development time, reduced common development and syntax errors, promoted coding best practices, and increased long-term maintainability. If you're interested in more of our story, feel free to contact me at thamilton@children'somaha.org or my office phone at 402-955-6747. You've been watching a presentation of the Gamma MLM Utility. This is Todd Hamilton. Have a great day and good luck.